summer almost here. It's time to get serious about wildfire season.
We talk a lot about preparing the outside of your home and making sure that your home insurance includes all that coverage. But what about everything inside of where you live? There's something that you also want to be doing called a home inventory. And joining us in studio to explain why it's so important and how you can get started preparing today is Ken Aaron, the founder of Portland-based company Virtual Home Inventory. Ken, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. This is really important. May, Wildfire Preparedness Month, so perfect time to really be thinking about this as we look ahead to fire season. What is a home inventory?
A home inventory is a record of pretty much everything you own, but it's not just your possessions, it's also the house, because if you lose it, you're also rebuilding it. So you need proof of not only the possessions and the quality and the condition of them, you need proof of the quality of the house, the fixtures and finishes.
Wow.
I mean, obviously, it's unfortunate, but it's become more and more important to be aware of this in the Pacific Northwest with wildfires really running rampant the last few years. How important is it now, and how long does this process take to get ahead of this rather than react to it?
It's extremely important. As we see climate change, the fires get worse and more intense, and you're seeing larger areas of complete losses. In terms of preparing for it, if you're doing it yourself, it might take you a couple weeks. If you're doing a really meticulous one, it'll take you months. If you work with somebody like me, it's going to take about a day or two of your time, and then I do the rest of the work behind the scenes.
Gotcha.
Okay. So when we're putting together a home inventory, what are the kinds of things that you're working with a homeowner to look at, to record, and how much information are you compiling?
Okay. Well, since mine is a visual inventory, I start with a 3D scan of the home. So you get a visual of everything that's in the house. I then go back and photograph the contents of every drawer, cabinet, and closet. Then I capture the serial numbers of appliances and electronics, and it's HVAC systems, that sort of thing. And then in particular, the high value items, collectibles, arts, antiques, jewelry. You really want detailed photos of those with any sort of mark or maker's mark, labels, signatures, anything like that to prove the provenance of what that is. It's a lot of detailed information.
I'll be honest, that's way more detail than I would have thought if I was just kind of looking around my house, making a note of things, you know?
Yeah.
That's fascinating. And I'm thinking too, like, you have those detailed things that may be personal to somebody inside of a home.
Yeah.
If they do lose that in the fire, I mean, how does that get replaced? I mean, what comes into play?
When it's those really important personal things, it's tough because the insurance company is only dealing with the value. But the fact that you have proof of it and that it existed, you do get something. It never replaces the sentimental loss, but at least you get something for those personal losses.
If we're talking dollars and cents here in terms of an investment, what's the difference for someone who does a thorough home inventory versus someone who didn't have a good record of their things?
I know people in Bend who separate from a wildfire but lost their home. And in the course of going through the process of the claims process, they didn't have an inventory, unfortunately. And the difference for them, they determined on contents alone, not the house, contents alone, was about $240,000 short.
Wow.
And that is not the worst I have heard.
Oh my goodness.
I have heard up to millions of dollars of loss of someone who did not have things documented and properly insured.
Do you focus on certain geographic areas that are maybe more prone, to being wildfire? Obviously, I think back to 2020 and the Sandiam Canyon specifically. Do you reach out to those folks as, hey, you should really take this seriously. This is something that could really benefit you?
We do. However, everybody really needs it. And the Bend example is the one that hits home with that, because there was just a fire that happened. But yes, of course, with these areas, it's extremely important for people to get something. Even if they don't hire me, there's things they can do to protect themselves that will get them much further than they need to be.
And to your point, wildfire aside, it could be a kitchen fire. It could be a plumbing issue. If you live in a condo, your upstairs neighbor's pipes break and look what you got to deal with. You never know what's going to happen. So where can people go to learn more and get started on making their inventory?
In terms of just a general inventory, most insurance sites do actually, they tell you, make a home inventory, but they don't get into details of to why. But a lot of them have things the tools that you can use. There's apps you can download and things like that. But what most people find that I talk to is that doing that is an incredibly long and meticulous process, and most people just end up not completing it. And that's when they turn to somebody like me. Because, as I said, I come in within a day or two, I can document everything. It takes a couple of weeks for me to assemble it, but what I give back to the people is literally a digital copy of their home that is online. It's accessible from any device. You don't have to worry about backup because it's stored in the cloud. I even record, if they have receipts, I will document and record all of those receipts and appraisals, those kinds of things.
Wow.
And all of that is in the inventory.
Fascinating. Well, great advice. Ken, thank you very much for being in here today. That's
Thank you so
some
much.
good stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it. This is really an important topic.
It is.
Going into the fire season, people, even if it's just a video of using their camera phone, they need something.
Yeah. All right. Great stuff. All right. And to learn
Thank you.
more about this company and the home inventory process, check out his website. That's virtualhomeinventory.com.